Jennifer Lopez says she officially takes back control and she filed for divorce. She is no longer leaving the ball in Ben's court. She said this romance is coming to an end, even though many of us knew it was going to happen sometime soon. We just didn't know when. A lot of astrologers have been saying that they felt like it was going to happen by the month of August. Also, a lot of news reporters and press and gossip columns have also been predicting that the divorce was immediately occurring before the end of the summer. Interesting about Jennifer Lopez filing divorce in August is not only did it happen in August 20th, but it literally happened right after the full moon in Aquarius, and both Jen and Ben are Leo suns, and also they both have a Scorpio moon. We are going to take a look at her birth chart, but let me talk about some of the things about Jennifer actually filing and the significance behind it. So Jennifer Lopez, when most people file for divorce, they usually file with divorce with a lawyer. She did not use a lawyer. At this point, she basically filed it herself. Jennifer Lopez listed the date of the separation as of April 26, 2024. So this is probably around the time that they started to have problems and maybe Ben moved out. A lot of people were speculating that the couple were not together because they weren't photographed together kind of around the time of March and April, May area. The couple got married in Las Vegas on July 16th. However, on August 20th was the day that they had the ceremony. So she basically filed for divorce 2 years later after the white wedding, the ceremonious bliss. And this was not a coincidence. Jennifer is playing hardball and she's basically, showing and throwing a dagger. Back when I read Jennifer Lopez's birth chart when she came out with that horrendously hideous documentary and music video, documentary, whatever the fuckerish crap it was, I said there was one thing that Jennifer loved more than love, and that was her career. And she is playing, like you can see, J-Lo. She loves her career. She loves her career more than Ben. She loves her career more than A-Rod. She loves her career more than probably, oof. I'm not going to say more than her mama, but she definitely loves that career. And she says she's tired of Ben making her look like a fool. So let's just get this shit over with. One of the interesting things about this is in her docs, in her her documents, she basically did not indicate if there was a prenup, and she basically did not indicate any type of settlement that is going to occur. She just basically said, we're filing for divorce, we're going separate. I don't know if Ben is going to ask for money. I don't know J-Lo is going to ask for money, but as of right now, there is no prenup. I feel like Jennifer believes that this relationship is now starting to harnish and kind of taint her name. Like she hasn't done that herself, but really taint who she is as a beautiful songstress and dancer and entertainer and actress. And she's now going to basically remind everybody who the fuck she is. So let's look at her birth chart, because I love to look at birth charts, and such a high energy event has occurred with this couple. This is a beautiful time to look at Jennifer Lopez's birth chart. When we look at her chart, one of the things that does stand out is this is technically, we're still in Leo season. It has not switched over to Virgo season. So the transitioning sun is actually in her 11th house in Leo. The 11th house is seen as that area of what the collective sees. I feel like she's like speaking up for herself. She's speaking up for who she is, and she's taking that energy back. Also, we have to remember that the sun energy is very solar plex dominant. So this feels like an energy where it screams, I have power, and she's taking her power back. Not only is she taking her power back, she's taking her power back internally and also for the collective to see, because the 11th house is the energy of the Aquarius, and we just had this full moon in Aquarius, but for her it lies with Leo, and she's letting the collective see what is really going on. So the transitioning Mercury is in Leo as well. We know that Mercury is in retrograde. So this energy is really feeling like it's something to talk about. You know, we're talking about it right now. We're talking about who is Jennifer Lopez, how she's taking her power back, how she's showing it to the collective. And we see that with her chart. Look at Jennifer Lopez's creative energy, we see that falls in the 5th house. Currently, the transitioning Saturn is occurring in her 5th house in Pisces. That energy is speaking volume. A lot of us for the last 2 to 3 years, we've seen this. I think she's seen this. Her creativity, her area of being a creator, also that femininity that so many of us loved about her has really come to the ultimate decline. We feel that constriction. She sees it. She knows it's there. And now she is basically going to have to do some areas of self-worth and self-loving. Maybe, you know, she's just going to have to let Saturn leave Pisces before we see this kind of ease up on her. But I do want to say this, that I would not want to see Jennifer Lopez hop into another relationship for at least another 2 years. Like, stop it, girl. Stop it. Like, even if you do have hookups, we don't need to see them. Look at Jennifer Lopez's 8th house. We really have Uranus in that energy transitioning over Taurus. And the 8th house really shows the area of other people's wealth and maybe even energies of intimacy and areas of encounters that might feel a little bit sudden and different. So I definitely think she's going to be a little bit more adventurous. But what I really want to point out is the altercations and the prearrangements that usually we see with the 8th house affecting other people's money. So maybe she might have to give some money to Ben, or Ben will have to give some money to her. It's not necessarily her money, it's his money. And how is that going to all play out with this sudden change? The house that we really want to talk about, the 7th. The 7th house currently is aligned with Aries, and what is transitioning over Aries is Chiron. That energy feels like there's a heartbreak involved. Chiron is the wounded healer for the next few years, like almost till the next 2 to 8 years. She really is going to have a healing journey. And what's interesting is that this Chiron is at 23 degrees of Aries. Aries is a fire sign. It's very spontaneous and it speaks volume. Definitely going to be having to do some realignment and re-examination of transformation with herself and overall her healing journey. And what we remember about the 7th house is the 7th house really creates that energy of partnerships, marriages, and contracts. We see that alignment, and this is a time that's going to have a lot of healing energy in this. Also speaks a lot of volume is the transitioning Saturn is in a square with her natal Venus. Natal Venus is traditionally in Gemini, so we see that area of media really covering this. Saturn is known for that energy taking away. Venus, known in the area of relationships. We're talking about it. She's probably talked about it for a very long time with her friends and family, as we can assume. Energy is really occurring for her in the spaces of the 9th house. Her transitioning Jupiter is occurring in that energy of Gemini in the 9th house, which I really feel is electrifying this whole transit of the Venus and the natal Venus having a square with the transitioning Saturn. Remember, Jupiter makes everything feel bigger. So the relationships are feeling very constricted. I feel by her filing for this divorce, she's almost having like a energy relief. It's kind of like a bunch of weight just lifted off her shoulders. So let's see what happens with this divorce, if they get super messy or if she is going to take time for herself. What's next for the ex-Ben Affleck couple?